Thanks for stopping by my studio. My name is Jerry. I'm a filmmaker and educator, and over the past 15 years, I've directed 3 feature films, and I've started 2 film programs at independent schools here in Los Angeles, and now I'm kind of taking all of that information online to help you with your next project. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you'll get updates whenever there's new videos coming out. Through this video, you can download my Make Better Films ebook. It's 100% free on my website. You'll see a link down there in the description, and then you can follow along with your project, and hopefully that'll help move us forward. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into it. Once you've downloaded this ebook, what you're going to do is you're going to find inside of there that there's a couple of documents. We're going to look at just the brainstorm map and our shot list, and then the script that we're going to use today, and that way you can follow along with it. And basically what the brainstorm map is you're just going to take everything that's inside of your head and everything that you have access to, and we're going to write it all down. And so for this project that I'm working on today, I know that it's going to be that I'm going to be filming on my own. And so the people part of that that's going to be here is just going to be me. So one of the things that I urge new filmmakers to do is think about what can you make on your own? What could you make today? Because the first couple films that you're going to make, spoiler alert, are not going to be great. And so we have to get through the bad stuff so we can get to the good stuff. And so with that in mind, I'm going to make this film today by myself. This is something that I give to a first-time filmmaker, and they have to make a film on their own. And actually, I've never really done that. And so I think that's a good challenge for me to set for myself moving forward. The equipment and gear, I'm going to keep this with what you would probably have access to. So we're going to go with an iPhone and a tripod. That's all we're gonna have. I'm gonna do everything with the sound inside of my voice memos app, so I'm not even going to worry about recording sound, but the sound that's gonna be on there, who knows? Leave it there and see what happens. The locations, I'm gonna use my house. Specifically, my garage and backyard. So now that I have my locations here, I can start thinking forward of like what I'm gonna be able to do. What's great about this location is you might have something that's very, very unique to you. Maybe you know somebody that owns a bakery. Maybe you have somebody in your family that's a mechanic. My dad was a mechanic growing up, and so he no longer does that. We don't have our shop anymore, but that's where I would have probably shot my film because it's very unique. I also had, whenever I was growing up, I raced four-wheelers and dirt bikes and things like that. So maybe there's some interesting thing that you could grab onto with that as well. So with that being said, we're going to use today just the things that I have access to, which is this garage that I'm filming in right now, and my backyard. That's what we're going to have. And then unique to you, what is something that only you have access to? Only you. You're the only one in the world that might have access to this. For one of those, it's going to be your brain and it's going to be your imagination. So make the film that you want to see, not the film that you think everybody wants to see. One of the things that's not guaranteed in this is success. And so if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll notice that I have my students and I have new filmmakers always define what success means to them early on. And so once you know what that is, you can move forward. For mine today, it's, can I make a film by myself? That's what's going to be success. And so unique to me is going to be that, myself, my imagination. This also might be the location that you have that's very, very specific to you. It might also be you have some kind of interesting skill set. I ride motorcycles. I like to ride motorcycles. So you could add that in there. For this film, I'm not going to do that because that would be too complicated for what I'm trying to accomplish today. But I would put these kind of things in there. So what is unique to you that you could add into your film? Once you have all that, we're going to move on to the next step. If you haven't watched the other video, I'll drop a link right here of where you can watch that. But in the other video, we go through writing this in real time. I'm not gonna waste your time on that. You probably already have a script, but today we're gonna kind of break it down so you understand what the process is going to be as you try to bring this to life. So, as I said, we're gonna have a garage. So this is gonna be my location. Exterior field, that's going to be my backyard. We're gonna cheat that. And then I'm gonna come back to the interior garage. If you wanted to get more specific with that, I might just say exterior and go backyard. Also, it's not at sunset, so we're going to do that in the afternoon. So the garage is sparsely lit by the open bay door. It kind of looks like what it looks like right now. And then a man 30s, he sits in a black t-shirts and shorts. Not wearing shorts today, I'm wearing jeans, but that's okay. All of this stuff would be here. We see that we have a sound of a jackhammer. I recorded a lot of sound effects over the last 6 months, so I'm gonna have a library of that. I guess I should have put that in there. What is unique to me, and I'll be right here, SFX for sound effects, library. So I had a bunch of sounds in my mind, and I knew I was gonna be doing this silent, so you need to start thinking about sound design. You need to think about how you're going to edit this. If you don't know how to edit, you can check out one of my other tutorials. I have one for Adobe Premiere, and I also have one for DaVinci, so you can check those out as well. So the same man sits in the field. I don't have that field, like I said, but I'm going to have him sit at a table. He's just going to sit at the table, and then you will see right here that the keys fill his vision as the fingers type. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take it out because I'm not going to have access to electricity out there for the computer in case it dies. So I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. So I'm going to actually go ahead and cut this, and I'm going to have him handwrite things. So he's just going to be writing in a notebook. This gets the same point across. I'm not going to show the computer anyway, and I'm not going to show any of those things. Also, I'm not going to show the words filling the sky anymore because that wouldn't make any sense because there is no keyboard there. In this VO, if you watched my other video, what I said is I'm going to be able to do that after the fact. So right now, I just know that I want to have some voiceover here. When we watch the final video, you'll get to see what I ended up doing as far as the voiceover. I also changed some of these things here because this was the garage. So when you watch the final film, it's not going to match this exactly, and that's fine. So you can go through and change all of these things that you'd like to happen, and that way they're coming through in the way that you perceive it. Remember, and editing is where you get to really refine that. Think of it, you're taking a block of marble and you're chipping things away. Make the choices that you want in here. Try some things that may not work because it doesn't matter. You're making the film by yourself today, remember? The only thing that was working on this was me. I'm the only person working on it. So I don't have anybody to kind of tell me what to do and how I should make this movie. So I'm gonna do it the way that I wanna do it. So now that you have your script, you're going to go into a shot list. Once again, this is all inside of that ebook. You're also going to see some location maps. You're also going to see some non-disclosure agreements and some reflections. If you don't even have an idea yet, you're going to see a way to do that. I'll make a video for that at some point. So if you'd like to see that video, drop a comment and I'll go through how I work through idea generation and build upon that. But a shot list, all that's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to brainstorm out what you want this to look like. For the 3 different kinds of shot we're going to use today, we're just going to go wide, medium, and close-up, okay? So a wide shot is going to allow you to see everything all at once. Maybe you need to see the whole location. Maybe you need to see where the characters are in space, all of those kind of things. A medium shot is going to come in and it's going to give us a little bit of reference point. So the shot that you're seeing right now, this would kind of be a medium shot even though you're seeing the full thing here. A close-up is going to bring your attention to very, very specific things. You might have heard these called insert shots before. And basically you're inserting on a specific thing. So if I wanted to go from the wide or the medium or the close-up, I would be able to actually just zoom in. I could move the camera. I can do all these things. I can zoom in post. Maybe I don't care that it gets a little bit manipulated and isn't the best quality when I do it. Film is a feeling. So what feeling are you trying to evoke? What kind of emotions are you trying to get from your audience? Think about it from that perspective and how you could make this move forward in the way that you want it to move forward. Once again, enjoy the process because the end results are not guaranteed. The fact that you're going to get the film finished, that is success. Don't let anybody ever take that away from you. Most filmmakers only make one film. So we're trying to get it where you can get a little bit more than one film. All right, so I have shot 1 here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start with these now that I know what that is down here at the bottom. And this is going to be my shot 1 and it's going to be a wide shot. And that shot is going to be man sits at computer in garage. So that's the very first shot of the film. I'm gonna have a man sitting at a computer, wide shot in the garage. And my special notes are that I'm gonna need a tripod. I need something to hold that. I don't have anybody helping me today. So this just keeps you on track so you can remember what's going on. The next shot that I'm gonna have is a medium shot. Oh, 2, medium. Okay, and man looks at the clouds from behind. Once again, I'm gonna need a tripod. So if we go back to our script here, you're gonna see that he stands in silence and looks at the clouds. They move faster than they should. I don't know if that's gonna be in the end because whenever I film, I don't know if the clouds are gonna be moving fast. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that time lapse. So we'll figure that out here in a little bit. So I have another one where it's a tripod. Then I need another shot where it's going to be a wide shot. Man sits at table in garden. So this is going to be the wide shot whenever that man is sitting in the garden. Originally, I had it written that he was going to sit in a field. I don't have access to that today, so I'm trying to pivot. I'm trying to move things around and figure out what I can do instead of just not making my film. There are going to be so many things in your way that tell you to stop making your film. You're going to have to keep pushing past it. Making films, making art, creating on your own is very, very, very difficult. Take it from me. I'm talking to you right now from inside of a garage, and you're anywhere in the world. So throughout your life, there's going to be so many things that it's going to be easier just to stop. But keep going, I promise. So here, I'm going to need a tripod, but I'm also going to try to do this shot over here. That was, the man stands to walk away, his original body in place. And so what I'm going to have to do here is that's actually going to be 2 shots. So I'm going to call this 3A and 3B. Man sits at the garden, and I'm going to flip this over. And so if I had my shot like this, I'm going to want to make sure that one of them is over here, and then my other person is going to be over here. Because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut this shot in half, and I'm going to have to combine it back in post, and I'm going to have to time these 2 things up so these characters can look at them. And so whenever we're doing this, we have to really start thinking about what it is that we're trying to accomplish in post-production, because once we get to post-production, now we have to kind of finagle all these pieces together. And so you're getting your shots. So I'll get one shot that's kind of a wide of the man sitting alone at the garden, at the table. And then I will get another shot where I move myself because it's going to be me. And then I'm going to walk into frame over here. Then I'm going to see if I can piece it together. We have to watch the final film to see if I accomplish that. So 3B here is another wide. Man stands in corner. Part 2, another tripod. And then over here in my special notes, I'm going to say right of frame and left of frame. So just like I said here, we're going to have right of frame and left of frame. So this will be 3A and this will be 3B. And we're going to have to piece that together when we get back into post-production. Okay, so another couple things that I'm going to want to get is I want to get somebody typing on the keys. So I'm going to get my 4 here, and then I'm going to do a close-up. Keys, typing. Okay, once again, I'm going to need this on a tripod. And I'm also going to say long lens, because I'm going to need a close-up lens to be able to make it look like I'm really close. If I come back over to here, you're going to see that he was typing on a computer. I want this to be kind of here where he jumps in and cuts into it. So you're going to go through your script. It's going to be drastically different than mine. And you're going to try to find out where all of these shots are going to be. So the one that's getting combined together, this is going to be 3A/3B. This is going to be 1. 1 is going to cover all of this. One of the things that I notice with beginning filmmakers is they'll try to film individual pieces and then piece it together. So I would steer you away from doing that because it's very hard if I try to film this shot, and then come back to this shot, and then back to this shot, then back to this shot. Don't film like you're editing right now. Edit in a computer, not in the camera. I'll say that again. Edit in the computer, not in the camera. Film your complete shot in your camera, and then we can cut it down to whatever we want whenever we get to the computer into our editing software. And so if I have this whole thing here, now I can decide where I want that typing. Maybe the character's typing through the entire thing before, maybe he walks away and then comes back, and then I put it in. So you never know what your actor's going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm building this by myself, but you never know what's going to happen. So give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and a little bit of leeway to be able to get into that. Also, then down here is going to be my 2, which is going to be my shot where I saw him looking up at the clouds. And then, bingo, I can come back to shot number 1 down here because he walks back into the garage. I can just use the same shot from where I walked out and walked back in. And now you're going to take your shot list and you're going to go make your movie. Write all the things down that you're working on, and that way you can start learning how to actually deliver information to other people, because eventually you won't be making your film by yourself and you're going to have to communicate and collaborate. And this should help you, because now if I was working with you as the cinematographer, all I'd have to do is slide this shot list over to you and go, hey, here's the movie, let's get to work, right? And so we could be building together, we could be learning together, we could be pushing our creative styles together. And so without wasting any more of your time, I know you have a film to go make, but I'm going to show you the film that I made and put together. And I did this in over the next hour. I went and filmed it and edited it. And this is something I would tell a student to do, where they make a film basically in real time throughout a couple of class periods and just see what we have. Let's get through the first one. Let's get on to the next one. write down what worked, write down what didn't work, fix it next time, and make a better film. So thank you so much for coming by today. Once again, my name is Jerry. Please like and subscribe. Make sure that you have those notifications on so when a new video comes up, we can help you make your film and get it out into the world. So have a great day and enjoy the film.
The sky was a little bluer that day. Way less clouds than I had expected. But the noise, it was deafening.